Hello, hello. Welcome back to another live. It's live number 4. Can't believe they're going by so fast. I'm really getting used to this now. Well, I'm always early everywhere I go, but I think that this is the only place where I'm sure I don't turn up too early. Otherwise, you might miss the beginning of the live show. So I'm always careful to try and come in here at 4:30 on the dot, because of course I don't want to be here early on my own waiting for everyone to come in. And I just see that everyone is coming in now, so hi to everyone, welcome again. So today's live is about how I decluttered and organized my wardrobe recently. If you've been following my stories, you know that I have switched my wardrobe from winter to summer. It's that time of the year again, we do it twice a year. Of course, if you haven't got the closet space like me, it is a must, but it's also a godsend, because I think that if I had the closet space, I probably wouldn't declutter my wardrobe so well twice a year. So yes, actually I can remember a time where I had a lot of closet space. Yeah, you might have caught one of my other lives about how we lived in a larger home before, and it was a problem because I used to hold on to everything. So yes, having a smaller closet is a blessing. So if you don't know me, my name is Nakita. I run the Mama Manual blog and social media pages. And what I do is I help mums to reclaim their time so that they can leave some time to take care of themselves. So I'm just going to say hello to everyone who's popping in here. Hi Stephanie, hi Alexia, hi Audrey. Is it your first time watching or are you here weekly? So, changing our wardrobe from winter to summer. I know it ranks high on your procrastination list most probably. Yes, this was me a while ago until I got it down to a fantastic system which I am about to share with you from beginning to end. But tell me, do you also procrastinate to do this? Do you struggle to do it? Switching our wardrobes has a lot of benefits, as does decluttering our wardrobes, because they do go hand in hand. So first of all, when you do it correctly, it is a huge sigh of relief, because as soon as you open your closet and your drawers, you can see everything. You can see all of your blouses, all of your trousers, you can find the things that you love. You don't have anything which you don't wear in your closet, of course, if it's done correctly. And it is fantastic just to be able to make dressing fun again every day, because once you only have the things that you love inside your closet and the things that you actually do use, it is fun getting dressed. It's fun to open up your closet every day and see what you feel like wearing for that day. It's a form of self-expression after all. So if you do put it off and procrastinate, do you know why? I want to hear why. And if you struggle as well, please tell me why in the comments box so we can chat about it. Let me tell you about my story. As I just said, back when I had huge closets full of clothes, of course I still used to put away my winter clothes because they're very bulky, and anyhow, who wants them in their wardrobes when you can leave more space for your summer stuff, which might get creased anyway, if you don't make space for it. So twice a year, I used to get these blessed coats out of their storage. And of course, you know, I used to try and declutter the wardrobe, but oh my goodness, it was such a headache. I was so overwhelmed by the amount of clothes that I had. I had stuff which didn't fit. I had stuff which I didn't like. I had stuff which I bought on a whim and I didn't really need, or I didn't really like, or I didn't really wear, which maybe I just bought because they were on sale. Do you relate to this? Well, this I have solved, my dears, and I'm going to share it with you. So in the meantime, I'm just going to see if anyone is sharing any struggles, and I'm seeing some ladies who I know from social media and some of you I do know face to face as well. So hi Giselle, hi Maria, it's nice to have you here for the first time. I know you follow me on Facebook and Instagram. Hi Claudine. And Christina says, hello dear, I procrastinate because it takes so much time. Well, it does take a certain amount of hours, but the better you get at it and the less stuff that you own and the more that you focus on what you really use and what you really love, it really takes less time. And also, if you think about the benefits, which are huge if you do it well, I promise you, you will procrastinate no more. Hi Maria Pia. Hi Jolene. Okay, so if you've just joined us, because I'm seeing a lot of new faces pop up again, today I'm talking about how I decluttered my wardrobe and how I switched my clothes from winter to summer recently. I know it's a struggle for a lot of you, so I decided to focus on this topic because I did get a lot of questions about it. And just in case you don't know me, my name is Nakita. I run the Mama Manual blog and social media pages. And what I do is I help moms empower their time so that they can free up some of their time and use it to take care of themselves. Before we get started, I just want to tell you that this live session, I just want you to listen and make sure that you understand the process and every single thing that I'm about to say, because it is golden. What I've done is I've compiled a PDF with all of the steps that you will need so you can get your wardrobe sorted as well. So once we're done, at the end, I'll share the link so you don't need to take notes, just enjoy. And of course, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. If I don't manage to get to all of them whilst I'm doing the live, I promise you I'll get back to you by tomorrow latest. I might even pop in later on this afternoon or this evening, and I'll try and get to as many questions as I can. So, let's get started. Of course, preparation is key. So let's start with what you need to make this happen. So first of all, you need to clear your calendar, especially if this is your first time that you're really focusing on this and you're really going to do it well. You need a good, let's say, 4 to 5 hours. I myself took 4 to 5 hours this time. I'll let you know why it took so long, because I do it at least twice a year. So I don't have much extra stuff that I hold on to. However, I did try some new methods, which of course took more time, but they were totally worth it. I will share, I promise. So clear your calendar, let's say 4 to 5 hours. And then you need stuff to clean your wardrobe. So think a bucket of water, cleaning cloths, and some detergent spray. And you also need garbage bags. So you need black bags, you need paper bags, and you need a marker because you're going to mark these bags as well. And then you also need boxes. So as you're preparing for this, if you have any shoe boxes or smaller sized boxes which you use, maybe, or which you've had like jewelry inside of them, or I don't know, little gifts, hold on to them because I use them and they'll come in really handy so you can get really organized here. Yeah, this is gonna be fun, I promise. And of course, you need lots of energy and music. Let's make this fun. Optional, I like throwing in some sachets with moth killer and freshener just to play safe, so you can do that as well. So, step number 1. The first thing that I did was I took down the boxes. So I have a few boxes at the top of my wardrobe. They're nice and neat white boxes and they're quite large. And these are the boxes where I store the clothes which I don't wear very often. Actually, I store, let's say, my summer stuff this time around. So the off-season clothes go into these boxes. As well as, yes, I also put my ski wear over there. I'm not skiing very often, but we've done it twice. So my ski wear is stored up over there. But the point is that the stuff which you very rarely use, or the stuff which you will use when you switch seasons, needs to be stored in places which are hard to reach. Now, what I do is, besides storing my off-season stuff at the very top of the wardrobe, on my top shelves, the shelves which I can't really access unless I go up on a chair or on a ladder, I store the things which I do use, but which I don't use as regularly. For example, I have these sparkly little numbers which I only wear when I'm going on very fancy dinner dates or fancy parties. I don't go to these every week or two. So they're teeny dresses anyway, they don't take much space. So I fold them lovingly, put them in these boxes and keep them high on the shelf, because who needs them at hand? Why have them hanging at arm's length when I can very wisely use that space for the things that I love and wear day in, day out? So that's the idea here, ladies. The idea is that we reserve the space that's very handy and the space that we use every day for the stuff that we use every day. So keep this in mind. And when I brought down the boxes from the top of the wardrobe, I also brought down the infamous black bag. I guess you're wondering what this is. Well, if you've read the book, you know what it is, but I'll share later. So step number 2, I emptied the boxes. So I took out everything out of the boxes and also every single thing out of the wardrobes and out of the drawers. Yes, my house, my tiny little lovely house, was full of clothes thrown everywhere. But it's an important step to take because, first of all, you need to clean the storage space. And secondly, you need to really see what you have because we're going to analyze the stuff that we own. So, as I took out everything, I put everything, like for example on the sofa, I put all my skirts, and then on the chairs I put all of my dresses, on the breakfast bar, not by, I put on my t-shirts and my tops, for example, so I sectioned them. So I could really see what I owned. So, little break here. Hi Evichka, Debbie. Lovely to see you. So we're going to continue. Step number 3. I cleaned. So I took my bucket of water, my detergent spray, my cloth, and wiped everywhere, spick and span, made it super clean. And then I started to look at the stuff that was all over my house. So I just need to check. Are you still with me? Are you still following? Please give me a yes if you're following and if you're understanding everything that I'm saying, because being live is a strange animal. You're on your own in the house, you're talking to your mobile phone, yes, you can see people popping up and you can see all the comments and I can see the little live up there with the number of people that are with me and wow, there's 91, 92 of you over here. But if I don't see your comments, it almost feels like I'm having a one-way conversation. So, yeses, they're coming in. So, Evichka says yes. Trudy says yes. Willie Claire says yes. Rosette, hello. She's just joined us. Christina says yes. Thank you. I now feel like I'm with you all. So, let's continue. We're on to step number 4, which is I evaluated my clothes. So I think that this is one of the most important steps that most probably you miss doing. It's important on a whole lot of levels, but mostly because our lifestyles change. So first of all, last year you might have had an active job where you went to work wearing sportswear. This year you might have an office job. You might need to wear smart casual clothes, or for example, you work in a bank and you have a uniform. So whatever you're wearing, 50% of the time should in real fact make up, yes, 50% of your wardrobe. So lifestyle changes should reflect wardrobe changes. And also, if you've lost a couple of kilos or gained a couple of kilos or anything else for the matter, excluding pregnancy, of course, because you cannot give away all your clothes just because you're pregnant. But all of these factors will lead you to maybe holding on to something which you don't need anymore. And that's not right. First of all, these perfectly good clothes which you're not using are cluttering your wardrobe and your brain. Secondly, someone else who might really need these clothes could give these clothes a really good home. Thirdly, it's a waste of space. And fourthly, you're really not giving room for the things that you love to live and for you to make it easy to find the clothes that you need and the clothes that you want to wear. So it's important that we look at the stuff that we own and we decide if these things still fit us physically and if they still fit our lifestyle. And if they don't, these clothes go into the black bag. Yes, so the black bag method, let me tell you how it works. If you have some stuff which you feel like you can't really get yourself to give away, but you know that you don't really need anymore, or you don't really like anymore, but maybe you've spent a bit of money on the clothes and you're not quite sure if you want to give them away, put them into a black bag. This black bag works fantastically, especially if you've got a bad memory like I do, because I always forget what's in it. But the trick is, if you put the clothes away in the black bag and you go on for one season, let's say at least 3 months, without needing what's in the bag or without thinking about what's in the bag, that's a surefire sign that you don't need what's inside it. So whatever is in the bag gets tossed. The trick is to not look inside the bag when you bring it down. So this is what I did when I brought down all my boxes. There was my black bag. It was quite sizable, but I put it to the side. And I said, okay, so this needs to be donated. Perfectly good stuff, which I don't need anymore. And it was a relief to get rid of it, knowing that I'd made this bold move of getting rid of stuff which I don't need and someone else might be able to use. So if you've got clothes which you feel like you can't give away, but you've made a huge lifestyle change and they're not useful to you anymore, they go into the black bag. Next, this is the most time-consuming step, but it's also another important one. So the fifth step is, I went through the items I owned one by one. And I asked myself just one simple question. If I saw this piece of clothing hanging on a rack in a shop today, would I buy it? Yes. It's simple, but it's so powerful. If I had to see this piece of clothing on a rack in a shop today, would I buy it? That's the only question you need to ask, because if the answer is no, then you don't need it. If the answer is yes, however, that goes in your yes pile. So we're going to go through the clothes section by section. Let's say we start from the dresses and we ask ourselves the golden question. I'm going to say it again. If I saw this piece of item on a I'm gonna go again. Tongue twisters going on here. So if I had to see this piece of clothing on a rack, would I buy it? So if you would say yes, you would need to take that dress and put it in a yes pile. If you say no, that would need to go in the no pile. Now, if you say maybe, it needs to go in your maybe pile. Now, once you go through all of your dresses and you end up with a yes and no and the maybe pile, you need to go through the individual piles one by one. So let's start with the yes pile. So the yes pile really has two types of clothing. There are the clothes which are perfectly good. You love them, you'd buy them again. So yes, they need to be stored back into your closet. And then there are the clothes which are perfectly lovely, but they need repair. So in this case, you need to take a paper bag, write repairs on it. This is where the paper bag comes in. You need to fold this item and put it into the paper bag. The rest of the stuff stays in the yes pile for now. So, the no pile. So when you're looking at the clothes which you wouldn't buy again, most probably they'd fall into two categories. So we have the stuff which isn't even usable anymore. Maybe it's overworn, or maybe it's not in a good state, or maybe, I don't know, well, it's not even good to be worn by anyone. And that goes into the black bag, which we're trashing. You might even use some bits and pieces, by the way, for some rags for cleaning. It's what I do as well, or maybe I leave a few rags for when I do crafts with Nina. But the rest just is trashed. And then you have the stuff which you wouldn't buy, but is perfectly fine, and that goes into the donate bag. So depending how much stuff you have to give away, you can now use a paper bag or else a black bag. Of course, if it's your first time doing this exercise or you haven't done it in a long while, you will most probably need a black bag. And then we have the maybe pile. You probably already know what I'm going to say. Yes, it's the black bag. So, the things that you're not sure if you want to keep anymore, go in the black bag. Now, just to recap, the stuff which goes into this bag, you will just close them up in here in this bag. You will put them away in storage where you keep your off-season clothing. And when the season is over, you're going to take the bag down if you haven't even remotely thought about the things that are in it. And you haven't even thought of an item which you want, need, or would like to wear. You don't open it. You just give it away. It's a sure sign that you do not need these items any longer. So, number 6. This is the reason why this time around it took me 4 to 5 hours to do this exercise, which in real fact would have taken me much, much less if only I hadn't decided, wait for it, but just as a side note, I'm so happy I did this. I decided to take each and every clothing item, starting from my little scarves to my larger scarves, to my dresses, to my trousers, to my t-shirts, every single thing, and I folded them using the KonMari method. Do any of you use this method? And do you find it effective? If you've used it and you have any tips as well, leave me a comment because I'd love to follow up afterwards. So this method, I'm sure you all know about. It's Marie Kondo's method for folding clothes. And I have tried it occasionally, but this time I decided to really hone in on it. And I was using my mobile phone, popping on YouTube. I went onto YouTube and I was searching how to fold little scarves, how to fold hoodies, how to fold t-shirts, how to fold trousers. So I was looking up everything. And I laid out all my clothes which needed to be folded on a desk. And I was folding them. And it took a while, but it was really satisfying to be able to store of them inside drawers and be able to, for once, see all of my tops stacked, sort of, because you kind of put them in on their side next to each other. And I know exactly what's in there. And sometimes, I hate to say this, but when I used to be in a hurry and I couldn't find something, I just pull out a top haphazardly and then it's a mess and then I need to organize my drawers again and oh my goodness, it starts to get overwhelming. But with this method, I can see what I want in a split second, take it out lovingly, and it is a life changer. It's been a life changer. I've been using it for about a little over a week now and I'm loving it so far. And also, I mentioned that you should have boxes on hand when you do this wardrobe reorganization or switching of season to season clothes. The reason I use the boxes is because for the smaller items, for example, for the scarves, now I have the chunky knit scarves, which of course I stored in my boxes at the top of the wardrobe because I don't use them anymore. And then I have my summer scarves and then I have my small neck scarves. So I use the boxes to be able to store the smaller scarves into the smaller boxes, which went into the larger boxes where all of the scarves are stored. So everything looks blissful. Come onto my stories later because I'll make sure to snapshot a photo of my scarves so you can get an idea of exactly what this looks like. Now let me see if any of you have used the Marie Kondo method. So Annabelle says, I use the KonMari method for the socks and glass cloths in the kitchen and some of my kids' clothes. Okay, interesting. So, glass cloths in the kitchen. I haven't gone that far yet, but for my kids' clothes, I mostly prefer to hang them because otherwise, if they're folded in the KonMari method, the kids don't know how to fold the clothes as perfectly, let's put it that way. So I'm sure it will be off-putting for them to try and help me and I wouldn't expect them to do it anyway. So I hang most of my kids' stuff so that both of them can help with putting away their clothes. But if of course you don't have much space to hang up all your kids' clothes, it is a fantastic method to use. So hands up to you, Annabelle, for using it even for your socks and your glass cloths. Wow, I need to try it for these things as well. Let's see if we have any more comments. And Christina said that yes, she does use the KonMari method and she found that it's the best way for folding. Clothes remain in order. Yes, amen, sister. And Dana says yes, better displaying of items, almost definitely. Someone else says not using it but would consider. Try it, you'll love it. Charlotte says, perfect timing, planning on swapping wardrobes this weekend and actually looking forward to it now. Don't forget to download my free PDF at the end of it. I will share the link. And okay, I think that's all with the KonMari method. No, actually Terry said, didn't know it was KonMari method, but I normally fold clothes in a way that I can see all of them. Yes, Terry, I used to try doing it myself, but do check it out because the actual method, I knew that it would save me space, but the amount of space that it saved is inconceivable. So look it up on YouTube and see if it's very similar to what you're doing, but you might pick up a few tips. It's brilliant, really. So on to point number 7. Next, I started putting all the clothes back into storage. So I have stuff which is already folded and which needs to go back into the drawers and the little boxes that I've put together. And then I also have the things which need to be hanging on the hangers because, of course, of the nature of the items. For example, things which are things which crease a lot, or for example stuff like blazers and jackets, unless they're gym jackets, these I hang. And of course you need to also evaluate the space that you have, because if you have very limited closet space for where you can hang, of course you'll need to resort to your drawers, and if it's vice versa. I mean, everyone has to make do with what they have and just try and make the best of it. But this is where I put everything back in its storage space, and then I just sat back and literally loved looking at my masterpiece, because it is so beautifully organized that I feel like it's a masterpiece, really. And of course, then you can put your mott sachets, if you're using any, or your fresheners, along with the clothes. And I put the things which I will not use for the season into the boxes which went on top of the wardrobe, and the less used dresses, which I put in large boxes or containers, those went into my shelves, which are harder to reach. And one tip which I'm going to share with you. You might not like this, maybe it's a little bit over the top for you, but what I did is, these dresses which I stored on the shelves, I took a photo of each and every one of them, and I just snapped them with my phone as I went along, and I saved the photos of these dresses in a folder on my Google Drive, so I can access them from anywhere. And why did you go to this trouble, you might say? First of all, it wasn't that big a deal. It's just a quick snap and then I uploaded them all. And the reason is that since I don't use them regularly, chances are that when I need to go out, let's say for a dinner date or somewhere fancy, I want to try and use the stuff that I have instead of buying new clothes every single time. You know, I love shopping, but in the end I'd rather shop for clothes which I use more regularly. And if I have something that I love, why not wear it again and again? That's my mantra. Once I don't love it anymore, I'll give it away. So I took these photos, so in the event or when I have an actual outing for when I can make use of them, I can just go into the folder very quickly and I can have a quick look at what I have, and then I know what I'm going to wear immediately. Also, if it needs any ironing, because of course they're folded into small tiny dresses, I'll have ample time to get the ironing done and to see if I need to prepare anything else to go with my outfit. So that's a little tip which I just remembered. So again, if you have any questions, pop them in the comments box. We can all help each other out, and I'll pop in later and see what there is. I'll have a look right now as well. Okay, I see a lot of familiar faces. Thank you for watching. So I mentioned that I wouldn't just let you know my method for how I organized my closet and how I changed my wardrobe from winter to summer, but I'm also sharing this simple yet intensive, and really it gives you back a lot, because it's very handy, and it's life-changing. It's life-changing because clutter weighs us down, and clutter in our wardrobes weighs us down twice as much, is what I feel, because we're constantly opening and closing our closet doors. So if you want my PDF guide on how to do this, if you want all the steps outlined in a simple PDF, you need to log on to www.themamamanual.com/closet guide. That's www.themamamanual.com/closet guide. Once you log in there, I will ask for your email and your name, and you will also subscribe to my weekly email where I share my meal plan as well, so you'll start receiving that as well. And if you're already subscribed, Don't worry, you won't get additional emails from me, so still enter your email and your name, hit submit, and you will be on your way to receiving my free PDF guide. It's my step-by-step guide to organizing your closet. So all you need to do is enter your email, enter your name, and then check your inbox. So you need to confirm that you want to receive the PDF, and then you'll be able to download it. So I'll just repeat the link again. It's www.themamamanual.com/closet guide. I hope you enjoyed this live with me today. It was a pleasure as always. I can't wait to see you next week, and in the meantime, have a lovely Tuesday afternoon and take care. Bye bye.